Yo, it's good. It's Affiliation / No Cool Points
Yeah,
podcast, episode number 2.
number two. Let's get it, baby.
Octavian, no Mike. Mike has got a lot of people to take care of.
Yeah, today. Yeah, no Mike, just us two today, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
bro. How's your holiday?
Holiday was good, man. Busy. A lot of variables, but
Mm-hmm.
all in all, very positive. The kids had fun. The wife had fun. We also celebrated our anniversary, so that was nice to,
I
you know,
saw that.
get cleaned up and go outside for a quick little second. You know what I'm saying? And the weather is great right now, so that just means it's gonna be horrible later on. So
Yeah.
trying to enjoy that. But how was your holiday?
It's all right, man. I drove down to Atlanta. I just noticed something. I look like Ebro right now.
Mm,
I just noticed that.
you
I
said it, man.
was like, yeah, look at the Supreme Joint. Anyway, yeah, down in Atlanta, seeing the family. Shout out to them. Yeah, good food. I smoked the turkey and brought it down there. Loved
There you
it.
go.
Yeah. What else? What else? It was warm though. I don't like warm weather around Christmas like that. It's like 75 degrees on Christmas Day. Not a
Yeah,
good
bro.
look.
But here's the thing, bro. Again, I'm from a place where it was so cold and it made no sense. So I appreciate this hot weather. Um,
Mm-hmm.
gives me a different perspective. Like I'm definitely hot now. I think it's like 86 degrees today. It's like, all right, now
86.
calm the fuck down. Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to get a little cold spell next week. We're going into New Year's, but it is what it is. What else?
Yeah.
I saw Show Me.
Hey, shout out,
Like,
show
what up?
me.
Yeah, man, we broke it down, man. Shout out to
Yeah.
him, man. We really built. Whenever I get together with Show Me, whether it's in person or on like a forum like this, we build a lot. So we're gonna get into some stuff. He's talking his shit on Twitter again. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sent me.
We gotta get show me on here.
Yeah, I texted him. I was like, "You free? You want to do this? You want to do this pod?"
Yeah. Expound
Yeah.
on your tweet.
Yep. Yeah, but he didn't get back to me. He must be out there doing something. But now shout out to him and the fam out there, man. Got to drive around his very lavish neighborhood uh
It's
out
nice.
there in Georgia. Um
Georgia.
yep. I got to try Bucky's for the first time too.
Oh, how was that?
Overrated as fuck.
Now, is this supposed to be the equivalent to like a Sheets and a Wawa? Is that what this is?
I think Sheets is better and
Sheets
Wawa's
is
is
the
better.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheets is
The only
the
thing
best.
the only thing that's different about them is that they have like barbecue. You get barbecue brisket sandwiches. It wasn't
Oh
too bad.
yeah,
The sandwiches wasn't too bad, but it was like, ugh, like
but they have barbecue at Quick
heavy.
Trip too, though.
I don't know. I've never been to a quick trip.
Oh yeah, they got Quick Trips in Atlanta too. That's supposed to be the
They hear
equivalent
it.
to Wawa and
Yeah,
yeah.
there's one in Dayton here, but I never been there. So
Ah, okay.
yeah. Anywho, I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, you sent a big ass list of things to talk about, so I didn't read it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. Let's go. My usual unprepared self. I'm looking at the joint right now, but
Okay.
I feel like a lot has gone on, even though the industry sort of shut down until January 1st
Yeah.
or
Uh-huh.
3rd, whatever the fuck the first week of January is. But let's see. You sent a little. What's on the top of the agenda here? Industry culture takes indie branded. That's interesting because there's a lot of
Yes.
JV nonsense going on. Like, is
Yes.
TDE an independent label,
Uh,
or
you
was it
know,
ever? If it is, or
I think technically, for LLC purposes and business identity purposes, it is. But I think they're moving more like a brand, right? Like they've completely branded the label, and so not only do the artists have fans, but they're fans of the label, of the actual entity. And I think that started off. I mean, I don't know. Maybe LaFace started that off, right? Like fans of the label, and then whatever the label puts out you're automatically a fan of just because they trust your taste. I think Diddy kind of did that well too with Bad Boy
I
and
think Bad Boy was probably, or
you know
Death Row.
with Death Row, or maybe even Def
Uptown.
Jam,
No,
right?
actually, no. Go all the way back to Uptown. Actually, Uptown maybe was the first one.
Uptown really
Uptown Records.
started that feeling
Wait,
like
actually, Motown. Go all the way back.
oh yeah,
Motown.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Motown,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, the minute you say Motown, then they know Jackson
You
5,
feel
the brand. Yeah.
right. So I think that's kind of the only way to survive when you're like part of these labels. I feel like there was another label back in the day. Was it Decadence that had I think it's Decadence. They had was it Gym Class Heroes, Tyga. That's what Tyga ended up going from Decadence to Young Money. They also had a
Hmm.
bunch of those like little bands, right? Like I can't remember the name of the Bright Side, whatever that song was. That
Travis
band.
McCoy.
Um,
Is Travis on it?
yeah. Oh
Travis?
yeah, Travis McCoy and them. So yeah, I think people are leaving the idea of just being a label, putting out all these random artists, right? To
Mhm.
like being such a branded identity where it's not enough just for the artist to have fans, right? Like the label itself has to have fans. Fool's Gold did a good job with that.
Mhm.
Um, Diplo and Mad Decent did a good job with that. Downtown Records did a good job with that. Those three record labels back in my day as being an artist, those were like to me like the core independent labels. Like all of those guys had like you know independent brands that were like could completely supersede any artist on the label individually.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. I think, especially in this day and age, and like individual branding of an identity plus whatever the products we put out, right? So they're like running themselves like Kellogg's, or like Kellogg's is like the umbrella. Then they have all of these products that serve different needs within that umbrella, and everybody's a fan of those particular brands that are under the umbrella. I think that's the only way to win now, especially going into 2026 when it comes to independent labels.
Yeah, because I don't feel like people. Yeah, the big labels have a bad name for themselves now because of the rap stuff and the lack of diversity in their
Yeah,
mainstream art. It's either Taylor Swift or anything hip hop. Really, that's that. You don't really hear about the artists that are popping right now. Like as far as popularity in the mainstream amongst a fan base are really in different genres, like the countryside
yeah, yeah,
and like so that alternative weird hit space between hip hop and pop
yeah.
and rock. I
Underground.
don't even know. Yeah, like underground, whatever. Yeah, there's so many low key artists that you don't even know about that just represent something different that isn't associated with the mainstream label. Perfect example is one of the artists that we work with, like Freddie Dredd, right? Like he's
Hmm.
he's on his label is just like more, he's on RCA, but you don't
Right.
even know he's on RCA. You know what I
Right,
mean?
because he's moving
Yeah,
independently, low key, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
and that's the way to be, especially now.
Yeah, and then all these big dogs, like the Drake and like the what's his name? Kendrick got his what is it, CP Lang, CDG, what is it called?
PG Lang.
Yeah, I don't mess with that shit. Anyway,
Oh man.
I'm just kidding. No, they cool, they cool. But no, yeah, they got all the little independent things and brands and whatnot, and they really
Yep.
push for those. And I mean, look, the major labels are the machine still for the most part,
Hmm.
and they killing it with the funding these projects. I heard that some of these labels on their earnings reports made money in the past year or so, but a lot of cutbacks.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
obviously, right? Like, I mean, if you don't spend the money and you have more money in your bank account than you did last year, I guess it's profitable. Because we know that the only way
mhm.
that they became profitable is by killing those expenses, by firing everybody they could.
Yeah, it's true. We lost a lot of friends in that fallout,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
things keep moving. Money keeps being spent and just doing it in
sure
different
does.
ways. Just marketing looks different. Create all the creative stuff looks different. Everything they do internal just looks super different now. They outsource
Yeah,
a lot though, but I think that was part of it anyway because most marketing managers didn't look internally for help. You know,
yeah.
so they made.
And I mean, that's what keeps us employed, right? I mean, shit, it's the
Yeah, a little
same old
bit.
thing, right? Like,
Yeah, a little bit, but it's a weird game. But I also don't. No, I don't know. I feel like with certain industries as they evolve, it's just going to get easier, especially with AI, man. Like pretty soon, they're already looking at these AI artists more seriously. And Show Me put that tweet out there talking about
yeah,
now they want
mhm.
him to build stuff with AI, and it's like make
For the
these
low.
videos with AI, yeah, for the low. And I'm like, that's fine. But the big thing, I was telling my niece this because she draws, right? She likes to do little anime characters and stuff. And she's against AI. She's like, no, it kills creatives and stuff. And I'm like, look, creatives, technology is gonna be there because we have to live with it and make sure that we utilize it to the best of our abilities. Meaning there was a point in time where cars overtook horse and carriages, right?
Right.
So if you're on the corner, like you're the best horse and carriage motherfucker, you get them there the fastest. Your horses go 25 miles an hour while the other ones only go,
10.
15, 10, whatever.
Mhm.
You the best horse to catch, and you see these cars come along. Oh my God, they're going 30 miles an hour. They 30, 40 miles an hour. And they killing my business. I'm a purebred horseman, right? And that's not the way to think. You got to figure out, how can you get more horsepower and how you can figure to do things right. So what I was telling my niece was like, look, you got to leverage AI to make your shit better, but you still be the creative. So that means things that you want to try to do. Say you want to get into animation where you're actually moving pieces and all
Right.
that.
Mhm.
You leverage AI to do that, so you don't have to get a team or figure it out yourself or whatever. AI can do that, but they still can't storyboard things. They still can't come up with concepts like you can. You can come up with
Right.
original stories better than AI. AI just takes whatever's out there and makes it something different or makes it to your liking. You just got to leverage the technology to help you. And I think that's the next step in evolution for marketing and music industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Um, I think that AI scares people because they don't know what the full capabilities are yet. So of
Mhm.
course the first assumption is I'm going to be out of a job. I'm going to be out of my creative loop, my process, whatever. When in reality, all you have to do is just look up a couple of these things and figure out how you can still be authentic in whatever it is you're doing, but
Mhm.
how AI can make it more efficient, right? Um, give you opportunities to trial and error things that you wouldn't be able to do or would take you too long to do, right? Um, that's where I think it fits now. Now, in 15 years, we may be having a different discussion, right? The whole fucking world might be overrun with robots and whatever the fuck, right? But as of AI in this stage, when it comes to music industry, music business, music creativity. I don't think it's replacing anybody's shit. And I just think it's going to allow the people with creativity to be able to create better. That's what I think.
I agree with that.
Because, think about it. Like, Show Me is an amazing creative. Um, these people asking him, to do these AI music videos or whatever they're asking him, right? They're asking him because he's still probably the best creative they know. Just figure out a way to take your creativity and apply it into this tool that's this trendy thing for now. But when it cools down, I still think AI can be useful to some if we allow it to, right?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
When the dust settles, man, it's just gonna be a tool like Photoshop, like
Yeah.
Final Cut, any of those things. There's people who know how to use Final Cut 10, 20, 50 times better than I do to create videos. And everybody has a use for these things. We use the AI every day. Like I use it every day to help
Yeah.
compose an email or finish an email or come up with a thumbnail for I just showed you my Maga Minaj thumbnail with the chart. Like all that stuff is just there. It just helps us message better or
Mhm.
just helps us push our creativity over the line. Like I prompted, and I'll show you this. Like I was in Canva, and Canva is a very simple AI creative tool. Like, oh sorry, I just
Mhm.
removed you from the screen. There you go. Like this, I made this thumbnail for the podcast, right? This is the politics podcast, Nicki Minaj and whatever, and just simple. Like this is not even anything. I just said, can you make it? I prompted it simply. I could have made it more elaborate or more whatever. I was like, you make Nicki Minaj smiling with Erica Kirk looking crazy and Charlie Kirk looking down on him from heaven. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. And that is, if I prompted even more elaborate, I could have made a whole elaborate scene or something more animated, more whatever. But I wanted something simple that just fit what we were talking about in the pod and made it the thumbnail. Will that perform
Right.
well? I don't know. Who knows? But every day I get better at what it is to prompt these things. And I would not take courses on prompting. I think prompting your AI your
It's a
own
natural
way
thing.
is a natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more or less prompts that are standard. I mean, the more what I've learned, the more intricate and detailed you are at prompting the AI, the
Yeah.
better the results.
Right.
Uh, but I feel that as more casual people use it, the smarter AI gets at understanding
Casual
how
direction.
conversation. Yeah, like I can tell a creative, hey, I want Nicki Minaj and Erica Kirk hugging with Nicki smiling and Erica Kirk looking crazy and Charlie Kirk looking down from heaven, and they come up with a whole amazing concept in their own vision. Now I have to I have to figure out like uh what like what creative direction, or the creative has to figure out what creative direction they want to take that in.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
The AI is kind of very literal. Like this
Right.
is what we're doing.
Exactly. Whatever it is
Yeah.
that you put. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the difference in AI, I mean, just simply like what you just even showed, prompt engineering is the skill.
Yeah.
That's the skill. And to your point, it still can be learned to a certain degree for people that have no idea of like how to express what comes from their brain to their fingertips, right?
Hmm.
But I think the average person that understands how to explain themselves and how to communicate, it can tell ChatGPT what it wants, or whatever AI tool, what it wants, without a course in prompt engineering. But I do think, to your point, it's all about like being as detailed in the perspective as possible. Like, if you can't
Hmm.
figure that out, then yeah, you would probably need some prompt engineering tricks. But man, I've seen stuff done with AI. I've even done stuff myself with AI, and I've seen you do stuff with AI that's pretty amazing, just simply from being able to communicate effectively.
Yeah. I'm about to do. I had something I wanted to do today, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, there's a whole bunch you can do with AI that makes this your life, your work life, and life easier sometimes, man. Even
For
grocery
sure.
lists, bro. Like AI
On
can
a
help with the
grocery list.
grocery list, bro. If you got, you just keep track of things properly. What's going? What else is going on? So, marketing better in music right now. Rolling out viral while album flop. What does that mean? Rolling out, going viral. Oh, the rollout viral rollouts with lackluster album performance.
Yes. Yeah, we could do that, or we could do something else. Whatever.
No, I'm saying like that's just the nature of the game now. Every label I've talked to, for the most part, does focus on social media as the main KPI for growth. But it's two parts, and this is a little advice for y'all artists out there. Your label is going to invest a ton of money into social media. They got licensing deals with these companies because music drives social media for the most part, right? Viral
Yeah.
dances, the soundtrack to your little TikTok or Instagram post. But they want their music to be at the forefront of that. That has nothing to do with your success. So you have to think
Yeah.
they don't care what artist it is at the end of the day. But
Right.
my point with that is that if you want your music to actually pop off of those platforms, like away from there on Spotify, on whatever, you get involved with your fan base and push that social media narrative further. If they hire influencers, which they don't do, to to do your
Which is
social
never heard of.
post your
Yeah.
music, I mean, we
Never
heard
ever happened.
stories, so whatever. But yeah, if influencers are posting your music, repost them. Do AMAs on your TikTok or Instagram. Get involved with your audience further than just posting a cool picture of you on the runway or doing this, that, and the third. Because there's a
Right.
whole group of people like, I mean, look, there's people on social media, and I think who works at the best. People like Kylie Jenner, people like your your I don't know. This is a ton. The Kardashians know how to do whatever they do because they got a reality show. I don't
Right.
think they go on like lives and all that, but when they do, it's popping all the time. People just follow them because they want to know what's going on, but they're always constantly, showing people. Drake does it very well, always posting on Instagram at least, and posting a picture here or there or whatever. So, or doing live streams or streaming with different creators. So just get more involved, and your audience will thank you later because you're gonna have yeah, you're gonna have a whole, it's just it's a different way of getting yourself out there rather than putting commercials
Right.
on TV. You know what I found fascinating? I just saw, so Sydney
What?
Sweeney, right?
Yeah.
How she's like, nobody likes her or whatever. I don't think anybody liked her to begin with, so it didn't matter. She was like the it girl for 5 seconds, and all of a sudden she's MAGA adjacent because she doesn't know how to she's not PR trained well.
Right. Just not
Um,
articulate.
yeah, I mean, like, you look, I'm not gonna call her a dummy or anything. Look, she did a bad ad campaign. People were saying you should apologize, which I don't think she should have. I think there was a lot of rage baiting there that she did that messed up things, where she did those interviews and was all nonchalant about it. That kind of fucked her up. But nobody's going to see those stupid movies anyway. They all sucked. And it's like, you can't blame that immediate like response to your action when you did that American Eagle ad to be the cause of why you're not,
Box
you know,
office.
popping, yeah, on the box office, yeah. So I just saw that she's hired a bunch of girly influencers to post, "Oh, we're going to the movies to go
To see
see
that
The
movie.
Handmaid." Yeah, so I'm following the account. I saw a couple of influencers that we used, and I was like, "Nah, these bitches ain't going out to see this damn movie. Come on, nobody, this is so stupid." And she's reposting them, but she's doing her due diligence to repost
Right.
them and get her audience engaged.
Audience to
Yeah.
right to see
But
it. Correct.
her audience, see, this is what the problem is, and we see this all the time. Her audience is not young girls. It is men aged 13 to 50 or
That want to
older.
see them tatas.
That's
Period.
not, and
Full
I'm not saying
stop.
that's it. I'm not saying that's it, but they're the ones that are more engaged and, you know, are going to go see your movie. So you should lean into that. You already kind of lean into it with the way you do your ad campaigns. Your titties out.
Right.
You're doing this and that. So why not lean into that fan base and get them to go to a movie or get them to go to the movie or whatever. It's good marketing. I mean, look, it's one step below OnlyFans at the end of the day to me. And you know, the way you do, you know, you're baiting and hooking men to do things for you.
Right.
Yeah, but they're gonna do it anyway, right? They're gonna
Yeah,
do it anyway.
right.
If I was a super fan, like if I was like on, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go see. You know, I send her a little DM, be like, look, I saw your movie. That's crazy, but men do that type of stuff because they're trying to shoot their shot. Even Zion Williams, you saw he hit her up like, yo, I'm gonna shoot. She should have DM'd them back. Go see my movie and we'll talk. We go out on a date to the movie.
Right.
I
I need to
something
see.
like that.
Right.
That would have been great marketing. You know what I mean? Like that would have been
Yeah.
amazing marketing.
Somebody could win a date with her if they gave a recap of her movie, and the best video recap wins a date.
Something like that. Yeah. Like
She
yeah,
would have had
you know how many
all of those
dudes would've been
rappers, all of that, all of athletes, and that would have pushed the movie.
No, you know how many
further,
kids,
right?
young men would have done that just bro. She needs to. I mean, look, and then girls like I would say females would follow suit who are trying to attract. So then other maybe young women might do something well. But you got to lean into what works for you as a creative or an artist or whatever. Not to say, I mean, look, this is all rambling, but I don't think that, you know, yeah, it's all theory. But I feel like that's all she really got left. Hiring a bunch of female influencers it's so transparent in a sense because these girls, you know, like some of these audiences aren't even interested in you. Like if you talk about what Euphoria, the show she's on, a lot of the influencers will probably be more interested in what Zendaya is doing rather than what you're doing. So yet they're posting about your movie that's flopping right now that nobody cares about. So it's like, it's weird, bro. I don't know. I mean, look, they don't think about these things and they end up, you know, falling short of expectation and not branding themselves properly or presenting themselves properly.
No, I agree with you. I think that's now acting is convoluted, just like the music industry, in my opinion, more than it was way back in the day for both industries. And I think the only thing to do is brand your superpower. Your superpower is your individual thing that is working for you.
Yeah.
And the longer that people run from what is really working for them in that unique point of view that only they can add value to, it's just going to continue to just be a forest fire, man. Like, and that's just artists, creatives, actors, you know, athletes, everyone alike. Like, you got to lean into whatever it is that makes you special to the public, and that may be numerous things, right? Like, but I think in the case of Sydney Sweeney, yeah, bro, like you got to take it for what it is and make it something else. So if you want it to be something else one day, you have to really embrace what it is now, compound that interest, and invest that for future profits. And I really think,
go ahead. Sorry,
to your point. No, to your point. Go ahead.
No, say we finish. Sorry, finish your thought.
Yeah. No, that was my thought. That was my thought, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now I was about to say that she was good at doing that right off the cusp of her popularity off of Euphoria. Remember, she was on Saturday Night Live. She did the Hooters thing. She did, you know, like, you know, but she did a couple of cutesy movies that did okay, I guess. But all of a sudden, Hollywood want to invest in her as a superstar talent when she really wasn't that. Like, She's not. Look, I'm not putting her a top tier actress. I mean, whatever. I've never even seen one of her movies. I've seen her in Euphoria, and I hated her character in that show. Yeah, I just didn't like. It was a very cringy type of like needy person that I was just like, oh God, why don't you kill her? Like, for whatever.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
why don't you kill her?
Are you watching that show? Do you ever watch it?
I've watched, I think, 2 episodes of that show.
Oh, okay. So you don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, her character is like this needy, like very gets manipulated very quickly, type person. And look, she's very easy on the eyes, obviously, but when she opens her mouth, you don't want to like. It's just like shut the fuck up and just go away. Like that's the type of thing. Like she kind of was. I mean, look, she was good relief for the other characters because she fit right in there. Like if you're talking like high school cliques, she was like, there's always that girl in the clique.
Persona.
Yeah. So if you think like she fits into there, but she became ultra popular off of one thing, her body. Like she was naked half the time in the show. Like she was always naked. She was always doing. So it's like, okay, yeah, but only a certain demographic appeals to that and gets, is attracted to that. And you're trying to take yourself seriously as an actress. You have to kind of like lean into it in a way that makes it acceptable and just who you are as a person, I guess. And then lean into your talent to win things. And I don't think she's that great of an actress to be saying that she has both, right? Like I can't even think like who's an actress that had like her body was an asset and she still can act. Maybe like J-Lo, maybe, I don't know.
Do we feel like J-Lo's acting is better than her singing?
I think J-Lo,
that's the case.
It's a good question.
I mean, and I asked that to figure out if the body has been an asset, because the body is an asset in both, in my opinion. But I want to know what you feel as though the body amplifies better. Is it better to see her in these music videos, or is it better to see her in these movies?
Well, I liked her acting. She was in a couple of movies that I actually liked.
She was. Enough was fire.
Yeah.
Enough was fire.
I'm talking about the early. Was that called Money Train or something? There was like a movie.
Oh yeah.
Early stuff, because I was two women
when
I was in high school.
Was it Wesley Snipes in Money Train?
Is that Money Train? I don't know, but like I remember when I was in June, when I was 11th, 12th grade, man, J-Lo poster on my wall. This is 96, 97. This is right off of the Fly Girls off of Living Color, probably before your era. Her and Beyonce, man, I was in love. Those two are my favorite people in the world, right? And then, I went to college and I found real women. But at the end of the day, like, that was my peak. But I always thought that she was an amazing talent. Selena was a good movie. So all of those things, like, she broke through many barriers. But I guess that was complimentary to the fact, like, she's talented enough to sing. I mean, not the greatest singer, but good enough, right?
Right.
Acting, she excelled in acting and
dancing. She's always been known for dancing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So she was a multi-talented person. Like, but so she's not a good example. I can't think of top of my head what I'm talking. Female actresses leaned into their sexuality or their body as not Sharon Stone, because Sharon Stone could actually act.
Sharon Stone was fire though, boy.
She can act though too. That's another thing.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And the thing is, look, I have not seen these new works from Sydney Sweeney. Maybe I'll take, once they're going to be on streaming like Netflix in a week or so. So I'll probably take the time to look at some of these movies and see if they're any good. But from what I've seen from Euphoria, she didn't move me as that type of person, and she really leaned into her assets, no pun intended. As a way to get notoriety, and get it how you get it, but use it as part of your marketing for your rollout for your movie, for this, which she kind of does when she does the runway stuff. But it is what it. She needs to like maybe have more fun with it or do something else.
Be all in. She needs to be all in.
Like all in, playful with it and all that type of stuff, and not so. I think she's trying to do that, and she's, because like even though there's a fallback from all the crap, but we'll see.
But I think that's the point, right? I think that she got caught up in that firestorm with the ads, right? With the advertising campaign for the jeans, and that audience is a very conservative audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think she started to try to lean into that more. Like, why do you have clothes on? I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it 1,000%.
Why do you
The
have
only
clothes
way,
on?
yeah, the only way that somebody that looks like that is putting on clothes is to
Uh,
portray that they are a part of a community that they may not be. And I don't know, I don't want to call her a grifter, right? But I feel like
no.
by her being so nonchalant in her interviews after that, by not clearing up any of that stuff intentionally, it really hurt her because your fans came from politically a different side. The feminism, women should be free, free the nipple, etc. That's who you attracted.
Did she? I mean, I
That's
don't
how
know.
I
I'm a
feel as
male. I
though.
don't know.
That's how I feel. Yeah,
Everybody
I feel
who
like
likes that I know that likes Sydney Sweeney are interested is a bunch of dudes.
there's a bunch of dudes. Yeah, and of course, right? Like I think my circle is more so dudes as well. But I'm thinking about the people that defended her during all of this stuff that I've kind of seen with my own eyes, yeah, as far as women, they were the women that are, feminist women. So of course they're against anything really
Mm,
conservative. And I just feel like she kind of lost a lot of her fans and didn't go all the way in for the men. So here it
mm.
is, you're kind of in this middle area, this middle ground where you've attracted some people from a different community you never actually really stood for before. You don't really know how to go all in on that. And the people that you first attracted before don't trust you because you weren't very clear, you weren't clarifying in your interviews. So I don't know, man. I think that she's kind of in a rock, between a rock and a hard place now. And I guess we'll see what her next move is because this movie, even though probably was a very inspirational movie with great acting, but we'll never know because the marketing was so terrible for it. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, they try to really make her the marketing centerpiece, and for both of the last, there was like 3 movies that came out in a row, pretty much.
yeah, uh-huh.
And she got
Hmm.
another one, I think, that she's supposed to. I don't know, whatever. But look, we were talking about rollouts of music. I think,
Yeah,
I think it all is relative. So artists, creative, movie people, whatever. Think about how your fan base, if you're talking about releasing your music, make your music um not necessarily the centerpiece of it, but your what you get your fans involved in how you do things, right? Not necessarily like TikTok challenges and shit like that, but getting their opinions on stuff and doing, the live streams and getting people to
hmm
engage with you. So it kind of not necessarily forces them to listen to music, but gives them that feeling that they're involved in your career some way in your success. Like, hey, like Drake has been amazing at it. When they did some sexy songs for you, remember the video contest that they did? Like, be creative.
yeah.
He was reposting the shit. He did a ton of live streams. He did all the things that made his fans excited. And it was the biggest R&B hip hop album of 2025. After everybody said the man was cooked, after they said Kendrick won this battle that really wasn't a battle, it was more of a pay to play scheme to get Kendrick to be the #1 rapper in the world. But that's just my opinion. And,
I'm
and
saying, I'm
yeah,
saying, Drizzy called that joint Botify.
yeah,
He called that
Spotify.
joint Botify the other day on the stream with Ben the Don. He said, "Let's go pull up Botify."
He don't care because the next step. This is another topic we should delve into is direct to consumer, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Me and Mike Waves talk about direct to consumer all
Yes.
the time.
Direct to consumer. And that doesn't mean just music. Music is a commodity, people. You got
Yeah.
to think about it like, I was talking to Show Me about this years ago. Like, music is just playing in the background while you're driving, having sex in an elevator, whatever you want to call it. It's just there. And there's going to be a stream of money from that music, but it's not as lucrative as what you can do outside of that. Music should just be a marketing tool. I think it's been proven for a
Yep.
lot of artists now. But artists with existing catalogs, they are at a benefit because their catalog is continuously going to make money regardless, right? Jay-Z, Drake,
Mhm.
even, they caught that wind. Even Kendrick, anybody from 20, I would say 2000, any artist that like from 2009 to now, any artist that came out, I'm sorry, any artist that came out after 2015 probably will not benefit as much from having a vast catalog. Because that's a SoundCloud era, right? That was like the last, and now
Mhm.
it's like maybe 2017 on. It's a little tougher to be a new artist and really benefit off of streaming revenue because you have to have so many streams, you have to be on so many platforms, you have to
Right.
release X amount. Anybody who's just banking on that to be their thing it's going to be tough. Now,
Right.
it's physical copies, like Taylor Swift is like yo, bro. Oh wait, let me think. Nas, when they just did the album with DJ
Light
Premier,
years.
yeah,
Mhm.
bro. There's 6 pieces of vinyl. Like there's this song. I mean, how many? I don't even know how many tracks are on the album. Good album, by the way. But they put out 4 different types of six different vinyls for it. So you don't think Nas fan? Like I'm about to go buy me a couple just because, right? And that's 30, $40 a pop. And vinyl ain't that expensive to make if you're making it in bulk. So record
Right.
labels, artists are really leaning into these alternate ways of monetizing the music with the physical copy. Some of these
Yeah.
people use some of them are releasing CDs and tapes.
So, so to piggyback off that point, Mike and
Mhm.
I talk a lot about direct to consumer. And we talk about the fact that these streams they're not there to pay your bills.
Mhm.
Music being on streaming platforms, it's a new discovery tool. That's all it is. And you get paid a little bit for being on there. But
True.
all of that, like paying for playlists and all this other stuff, like, bro, you might as well figure out, get you a nice creative director that understands your branding, your messaging, your audience, the personas that are within that audience. It really starts at the music creation point. You have to make a product with the end customer in mind. That is how it all works. And these guys are just, especially in the rap game, they're just so self-serving that they want to then make something that they want to make and then force product market fit. That's not how real businesses operate. There's somebody in a boardroom right now creating a product that's going to solve a problem for a particular person.
Mhm.
That is how you guys need to start thinking about music when you're creating music. Who is this for? What setting is this record going to be played in? And how do I create an ambiance, an ecosystem around that setting that creates an easy pathway to somebody choosing this particular product to solve that problem in that moment? That's all that you guys need to be thinking of. But of course, no, no, no. You're thinking about, buying your mama a house and putting your girl in a Bentley. And you guys are just missing the point of like how real business operates in the real world. But hopefully, you guys will get smarter and realize that it's only a dream until you actually put it down into a business plan. But until then, if you guys don't have these plans of like identifying your market and finding a way for your product to fit the market,
Mhm.
because it's a difference between the music industry and the music business, so the sooner that they understand the difference between those two things is the better that they'll be off. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
industry's just no disrespect to my peoples that's still in it, but it's a bunch of old motherfuckers just making money, man. They are the just the pipes that make the things happen. There's no more cachet or flair or
Yeah.
coolness in the music industry like it used to be back in the day, right?
Yeah.
You go to an industry party, you go to whatever, you be like around these people. People don't even go no more. These old niggas don't do that shit. And these young niggas, they just want to be in the club, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to
Facts.
be, this is the rappers. The industry parties aren't like, I mean, some of these people are just larger than life where they don't want to be around these motherfuckers no more. And there's no more gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Um,
No more gatekeepers.
yeah, like
Yes, no more.
yeah, and the ones that try to hold on to that, like the Ebros and the what's his name, Elliot Wilsons of the world. Look at them now, yo. I mean, look, we'll circle back to Ebro in a second because I actually did kind of do a deeper dive into the whole loss of employment.
Uh-huh.
But it's yeah, there's no more this like we need you or ass kissing mentality for artists to get on anymore. They don't need these labels. They don't need, and honestly, they need labels maybe for distribution, but they don't need the radio personality or the whatever. And there's certain points where they will go to places that are artist friendly, or that are interesting places to go, like the Breakfast Club, right? Or
Hmm.
certain podcasts. And the Breakfast Club's a bit of an outlier, in my opinion, just because, yeah, it's traditional radio, but they run it like a podcast, pretty
Yeah,
much.
they've rebranded themselves
Yeah,
completely to a podcast for
yeah,
sure.
pretty much, yeah. And they do it daily, which is dope because now you can listen on all platforms, and it gives them more lanes for monetization and all that other stuff. Um, Did we talk about Charlemagne's 200 milli?
No, we did
Oh,
not.
we did not. Oh yeah. Well, let's pivot there real quick.
Okay.
Amazing deal. Um, it shows you, to me personally, how being an outcast or a person who sticks by their ideals and morals can get you somewhere in the world. Now, mind you, I don't know if Charlemagne's a good or a bad person. There's some people that love him, there's some people that hate him. But I think in general, the way he takes care of his people, even though some of them don't benefit as much as he does, I mean, but it just should be the natural course of things because he did all the
That's right.
work.
That's right.
Using his name to get on. But I feel like if you don't do, and this is what I always say about especially people that deal with me or whatever, like if you're not doing your due diligence and I'm sacrificing to put you in a certain space, then that's on you, not me, right? Like, and it goes through to work for me, work with me, whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, you feel that you could benefit off of this because you bring what to the table exactly? Oh, some
Yeah.
talent, some whatever. And it's just one of those things that as you evolve in whatever industry that you're in, you kind of just can pick out like the right people. And Charlemagne is like one of those people that has really taken it to another level. And I respect that a lot, regardless of how some people in the industry may feel about him. You know what I mean? Even though he's very industry adjacent too, which is
Right.
weird. He's like outside and inside at the same time. I can't really pinpoint. He's the Illuminati, but not really. That's the way I look at him.
Yeah. But it's crazy that it's kind of gotten to this place where you're right. It's because that's normally, 15 years ago, it would be hard to balance the kind of identity that he has,
Mhm.
very front facing in the public and almost like an independent creator, independent thinker, even though he's not independent as far as not with a company, but independent, like he'll launch his own idea. He'll partner with somebody that's smaller than him. He will just activate what he wants to activate. So he has the strength, the finances, the network, and the connection to kind of do it himself. And then on the flip side of that, he also uses resources, connections, and finances from the big machine. So it's very weird how he's able to kind of stay in those two worlds and they don't
Mhm.
necessarily bleed together until now. And when they do, it's a $200 million move.
Yep. And this is the crazy. So it involves him being on the Breakfast Club and
Yep.
them investing into his Black Effect podcast network, which is a big podcast network, which is, helps Black creators
Mhm.
become, gain notoriety, which is a good thing. Now, I've heard things about him in the space where he takes advantage of a lot of these pods that are under his umbrella. But I mean, you signed a deal that you're meant to sign. That's on you, creator. So if Charlemagne comes to you and says, like, you could be part of our Black Effect podcast and you don't have they say here's 200 grand or whatever, and that's all, your shit's the biggest podcast ever. This has happened before. He's not taking advantage of you. He's just, I mean, yes, he is taking advantage of you, but the deal you sign is the deal you sign. If you're worth more
Right.
than that, then keep doing your fucking thing outside of what they offered you. You don't need to sign with them, right? And I heard a few things, internally from people that are close to this, and I'm like, well, that's really on the creator. I don't give a fuck about,
It's
you could be,
always
yeah.
It's always on the creator. It's always on the person that signs the paperwork. I don't care what these big machines do in their paperwork because they can only get away with what you allow them to when you sign
Exactly.
that paperwork. So in reality, I hopefully that conversation shifts as more people get a lot more leverage, right? But you should not be talking to anyone about anything if you do not have leverage. Full stop. I don't care what you do, where you are in the world, what your specific expertise is in,
Mhm.
what value you bring. If you cannot ball that value into leverage for something that you feel as though you can sleep at night after signing, then you shouldn't be discussing anything with anyone. And if not, go do it yourself. It's
Mhm.
always an option to do it yourself. It's not always the
It's
best
tough.
path,
Right.
or the easiest path, right? But if you feel as though not partnering with someone that can give you the resources, the network, the reach, the cosign, whatever it is that you're paying for in exchange for your signature, then you should go do it yourself. I'm a big advocate of doing it yourself, you know, And if you can't do it yourself and you seek those cosigns, you can't cry when the cosign signs, feels more benefits than you. You just kind of get take your lashings, use that as an opportunity to build your leverage, and make sure that the next time another opportunity comes around, you know, you make it more favorable to you. Because the funny thing is, though, sometimes your first chance is your last chance. So,
And people forget quickly, like,
you know,
look at, there's a point, when Cadillac Ty was like a, prominent rapper. And
yes.
now, your first chance is your last chance. That's exactly right.
Shout out Cadillac Ty. Shout out Black Child too.
Whatever y'all doing now.
Whatever y'all are doing, man. More power to y'all.
Yeah, but much Charlemagne's doing a good thing there. I feel like he's going to be a pillar for Black culture and just like the new industry as it is now is as far as mainstream. I think that what he's doing in the space, like he knows what the next move is, and it's funny how iHeart can invest this much money into a radio show / podcast network, knowing that podcasting and radio have been on a downturn the last few years since the pandemic. Now, I don't know, the numbers may speak differently, like as far as like his Black Effect podcast, the listenership, and they're really just making an investment into Black culture and entertainment, because there's big money in that, never mind all the MAGA shit, but they see that people in that space, Black people are going to be Black people, and we consume a lot, right? So we will, be able to, be marketed to still, regardless of if the economy's up or down or whatever. So I feel like it's a smart move by them to get into a space. It only cost them $200 million over 5 years. It's not a lot of money in retrospect. You got to think like that's an investment in I don't know how much of that goes into his actual pocket. I'm pretty sure he's doing well off either way, but it's great because now he could build a bigger, platform. Same way, look, and we're trying to do that. This is what affiliation and no cool points is all about. It's like you want to start building a platform where we could bring in all the connections that we made to build entertainment things, obviously podcasting, all the creative stuff, and bring people along. So he's ahead of the game on a mainstream level. I can only hope to be there one day. And but
for sure. Shout out Charlemagne. He definitely, there's a lot of cats hating on whatever the situation is, but they don't understand how to look at it, right? Like this guy's opening up the lane even further, right? Really putting a number on the real estate that comes with some of these video, kind of video casting yourself during your podcast, right? So we're going to kind of see that evolve into a place that most people are spending their time, which is on these streaming platforms. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how everything correlates. And I think they did the deal for long enough, right? Because I think it's a 5-year deal.
5 years, yeah.
So that's long enough to kind of see how everything is going to settle out and what the real numbers are and what the real digital real estate is worth. And I think that's what you got to do when you're trying to do something different or you're trying to figure out the next thing. It's going to come with a little bit of risk, but I think Charlemagne is there in particular to mitigate risk, right? Take some of the data points and the feedback they get from initially launching this thing and carve it into something that is successful. And I think over 5 years, it definitely has the ability to double or potentially triple. Now, will it go into $3 and $4 billion valuation? I don't know. We'll have to see what that particular situation looks like, right? But it does.
And what podcasting network or radio thing has been $1 billion valuation?
Yeah, right. It probably wouldn't be, right? But I think that's a good opportunity for iHeart and Netflix to strengthen their relationship, since everything, especially the last 4 or 5 years since COVID, to me, has been particularly partnership based. Yeah. Everyone is taking someone else's product and matching it with someone else's audience. That is how most of these companies are surviving now. So I think in the landscape and the way that everything is changing, this move was a smart move, and they had to do it before somebody else did, man. I mean, it was only a matter of time. Netflix has, I don't know what their numbers are, but they have maintained, a strong viewership, probably above all the other platforms, especially acquiring, didn't they acquire somebody else just now in the Netflix deal? They acquired somebody else too, some
They're trying to
other
buy Warner Brothers, right? I don't know if
Warner
that's
Brothers.
done. I don't think that deal's done yet because Paramount,
It's not.
Skydance or
There's
whatever is still trying to do a hostile takeover. There's a lot of
well,
that's big. That's going to change the landscape a lot because that's basically going to be state-run media if Paramount and Skydance buy it. It's going to be MAGA media.
MAGA media.
MAGA
Hey, man.
is Zionist Israeli media. Yeah. So that's a whole look. We talk about it on the politics side, but be careful with that. And the cool thing about regardless of that state media, if they can't control, well, I would hope they won't be able to control the YouTubes and the other platforms like that because those too big to fail. Hopefully, they still believe in free speech and whatever. Like scary times out there, man. Now billionaire oligarchs and all the other crap consolidating power against common man, and the common man actually cheering it on because they're idiots.
Because they don't know exactly. They don't understand the end game, right? They can't. There's no way that they.
I'm not even gonna get into my rant about that. This is crazy. These are the same motherfuckers 10 years ago was talking about, they're gonna take over our minds with this and that.
Right.
And they're gonna infiltrate, and now they're just because it's the type of media they want to see. I'm fine with it. Nothing to see here.
I mean, again,
idiots.
That all comes down to branding, man. Cats have really branded themselves.
Look, yeah, right.
They've emotionally tied their brand, to tie their brand to an emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they're taking advantage of that emotion, whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's victimhood, whatever it is, they've allowed their brand to be assimilated into an emotion. And then they just expose that emotion to then, I guess you'd say unify, right? You unify over that emotion versus like tangible things that we want to see out of the people that we require it from. No. You don't have to do that. They feel fear, and because they feel fear, I'm the one they come to. I don't need to provide anything else other than comfort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it, man.
Oh man, it's just I'm looking at this. Okay, so you have this is interesting. Have YouTubers replace blogs, radio, and A&Rs? What does that even mean? Like the Akademiks Effect. What is the Akademiks Effect?
So the Akademiks Effect, essentially, when it comes to that topic of have YouTubers replaced, traditional outlets in media. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say yes, because they are faster. Number one, they're faster. They don't need, academics will get on his stream drunk at 4:00. There will be clips out at 8:00, fully edited, separated based on topic with some shocking revelation he's come to, as well as he reports the media truthfully. And then his perspective may be skewed. Truthfully, he'll read what exactly it is. He will not spin the narrative. He will say the narrative for what it is, and he may spin his reaction to it, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that especially within music, right? Like it is because of academics that people even care about the numbers. It is because of his first week reporting numbers in 2014, 15, and 16, and going over these SoundCloud guys and going over their streams and the bundles, breaking down the bundles. It is the reason why the common fan is aware of the numbers, is aware of the bundle scams and finessing cats was doing.
Or even cares,
Yeah. And who's to say that's a good or a bad thing, right? I feel as though it's a bad thing to a certain extent because you're never wanting your consumer to know more about how the product is created, right? Like I think that would disgust all of us if we understood how hot dogs are made.
Well, I think it's a certain demographic that cares about that. Like guys like us care about it, and we'll debate it. There's people that just use it for social media content, but I don't think they know or understand the inner workings of the music business, like people within the music business, because there's a lot behind what besides numbers. Like they don't, Akademiks doesn't talk about that in his rants or whatever.
Well, of course not, because he still has to get paid, right? So you don't want to overexpose too much because then you become a liability.
Well, but he doesn't really. I mean, he exposes enough to say like, "Oh shit, there's something here," but I don't feel like he's saying, "Oh, bundles this or do." I think it gives a layman's
Yeah,
man,
explanation.
leaning to get a little bit of an explanation of how things are actually working nowadays. But then those same people take that same knowledge and make 15 TikToks and go viral off of bullshit. And that's the problem. To me, that those people, there's a ton of them out there. They're not even music industry adjacent. They're just talking out of their ass about random shit. And then they make, look, shout out to what's that guy, Demiza, that white guy, that old white guy, that
Yeah,
radio guy from back in the day. Actually, I look back, I actually remember him from back in the day. He was up there, he used to do stuff with Def Jam, I believe. So I like him but I don't think he's a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but he also has a skewed sense of reality when it comes to like the machine and how it works, right? And these companies, they're built to make money, and artists be damned. It's the same music industry that
yeah.
existed 50
It's
years
always
ago,
been right.
80 years ago. Screw the artist, any way you can. Now streaming companies are involved. There's nothing different about it. It's just the way the money's divided up and who's getting the bulk share of it. Y'all motherfuckers just don't understand it. This is what I'm telling these artists right now. Y'all are stupid. Don't sign a record deal if you're big enough not to. You don't have to. Chance the Rapper didn't. He's doing fine. Now, if you want to be like Drake or Kendrick or any of these other motherfuckers, you might have to sign that record deal. Because look at the difference between Chance the Rapper and Russ versus Drake and Kendrick. Who do you want to be?
Right. That's a fact, though. And I think if you're asking anyone that knows anything, the answer would be a Chance the Rapper and Russ. You got just enough popularity to feel like you're somebody, but not enough of to the fact that
Well,
you're a slave to
but no,
someone else.
but everybody wants these guys. Look, we're talking about narcissists and
Right. They want to
self-serving
be the
people.
Drakes, and
They want to be the Drake. They want to compete. They want to be at the top. They want to be out there in the street. Even the street niggas, bro, come on. They blow their whole advance check on a fucking chain and a house of their moms. And your mom's had a house already. Don't matter. She needs another one. Like these guys, look, they're gonna do that stuff and then get big. But the business side is gonna be the business side. You have to understand how to leverage that business side to your benefit. That means suck it up, become popular, sign the best deal you can if you want to be popular, the distro wise and all that type of shit. I think these guys play the game very well. These guys, the guys who the guys who came out 2009, the 2010s guys, the Drakes, the Kid Cudis, they play the game so well because look at their mentors. Jay-Z, Kanye, those motherfuckers been through it already. They had the bad deals. They had they seen it. Look they're off the cusp of the highest success of Cash Money and No Limit and Rockefeller. They seen these big labels do big things that were black owned and operated, rapper owned and operated. So they learned from a bunch of good people on how to leverage great contracts or contracts that are in their favor and do other things. Kid Cudi ain't never gonna starve. He ain't gonna be out there like Cool Mo D and them motherfuckers, like them old school. None of these guys are gonna be like that are highly successful. So
I gotta admit, I think about those old guys a lot, man. Like,
I
damn,
do too.
man. You motherfuckers ain't get shit, but it's because of you motherfuckers that these cats is getting 40 million, getting max contracts and shit.
But, bro, look, there's always a Jackie Robinson and a Satchel Paige that has to do the sacrifice, bro. And I mean, these guys are grateful to still be relevant and as part of history and all that. Busy B, Kumo D, all these guys, and I'm very happy that they're still be able to do their thing. And shout out to like people like Nas for doing the Rock the Bell.
That's right, Mass Appeal, keeping it alive.
They do well, so they appreciate the culture in that aspect. But nowadays, bro, you can't. The industry is always going to be that thing. Just going back to what I was saying about the demise of guy, he's right in one aspect that you could go independent and do that, but they're not going to do that. People, look, until the day you can build and make your own way and become as famous as you want to be. Because look, there's a big difference between Kai Cenat and Jimmy Fallon. Like you're looking. I know Jimmy Fallon. Not everybody knows Kai Cenat, right? And Kai Cenat does a variety show on his thing when he has guests on. But the bulk share of Kai Cenat's audience is younger people who enjoy consuming that type of content. And you got to think about the music industry as a whole. How many people are in tune? And the only way you can build yourself up as an independent artist now is on social media. So you're not going to get booked on the Tonight Show if you're independent. I mean, Russ has been on the Tonight Show, right? I think maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
You
Yeah.
you have to pay to be on there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you pay out of pocket. So the set, all that type of stuff, if they're willing to have you on there, if you're popular enough. Yeah, there's a budget that you come out of pocket for. Same with Super Bowl, same with any of these things. They're platforms that you have to get sponsorship for or fund yourself to be there. Saturday Night Live, I believe, is the same way. So you got to think about like these traditional media outlets that still garner an audience that makes you a household name. There's a reason why Snoop is more popular than Russ, even though Russ sells more records than him. Because he's in everybody's and look, artists, creatives, think about it that way. Now you can corner the market like Kai Cenat has, like DJ Akademiks has, like certain creatives have in their spaces, but you're never going to be at the level of Jay-Z, Beyonce, Brad Pitt, whoever, even Sydney Sweeney. Like they're not going to be at that level because they don't have the machine behind them or those outlets that still do. And now with media shifting, yeah, independent media is going to be there, but it puts you independent media. Think about it this way, kids. When you're categorized as independent media, they bucket you with Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Candace Owens.
Yeah, you cooked.
Now, mind you, you go, oh my God, Kai Cenat. They're not the same. Obviously not. I'm just saying they're all in
overall.
They're not on NBC or ABC or whatever, but 50 Cent. He got shows on ABC, NBC, Netflix, everywhere in the theaters. He's been on MTV, BET, still is. So Jay-Z, all these big artists, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, they are they're still part of that traditional media machine because they generate them dollars, so they want them there. But Russ don't do the same thing. Russ's fan base, are they going to tune in to whatever at 9 p.m.? If he's the guest, no, they're not.
There'll always be a certain ceiling unless you're in the bed, unless you get in the bed. And yeah, I mean, that's true. And that's what I think everybody needs to take a real good look at themselves and say, what does success mean to me? I always, before I do those, a lot of these larger campaigns of some of these artists, and they're like starting from like 5,000 followers. It's like, hey man, what is the goal of this? Do you want to buy your mom a house, or do you just want to pay your bills? Because if you want to buy your mom a house, I'm not the guy to talk to. That's just not the lane that we're going down. You got to go to some label. But if you want to pay your bills, you want to live good, be able to do your shows, sell your merch, touch your fans, have some heart and soul about, pause that. Have some heart and soul about that, about your career, and always feel as though there's always something to get after next, then we can do some business. Other than that, man, like you guys, we just have to like compartmentalize what it means now, right? Because back in the day, I mean, every rapper wasn't buying their mom a house, but I'll tell you what, when Joe Budden and all those guys came out, Slaughterhouse and all them dudes, there was enough money for everybody to pay their bills.
There was, yeah. It was a different time too, man. Like labels had money to burn, or still do at some point, but they would invest in acts like that just to keep them relevant on the streets, or to keep a certain audience entertained. They understood that. Labels understood that back in the day. They'd have why would Raucous Records get a freaking deal? They barely moved 10,000 units of Most Def or any of that, but they got a label deal. I think with RCA back in the day. And got national, big distribution, fucking Pharoah Monch on fucking all over the place. And they broke. Look, the records were there. It's to cater to a certain audience. Was it ultimately a money-making venture for them? No. It hooked an audience, gave them something, and kept the money coming in. And now that they don't have to make any more vinyl or t-shirts or CDs and tapes, that shit's on streaming still. Old motherfucker like me is gonna go listen to some old Talib and Pharoah Monch, and now they're still making money off of it if they, signed off on
their project to be on there.
Yeah, forever. And a lot of these guys, I mean, they still enjoy ventures or whatever. I don't know how it works anymore. Appreciate you doing this today.
Yeah, man, we might be on to something, dog. We might be on to something. Fuck around.
Yeah, it was fun though. All right, like, subscribe, and all that shit. We should have said at the beginning, but we ask any questions too down below, pause, and we'll answer them. And we'll be back. We need to learn things too. You tell us your experience if you are an independent artist or a real artist, anybody that's out there listening to this shit, because Octavian knows this. I don't particularly care for a lot of the viewpoints that people have on the industry as a whole because they're stupid. People just say shit to say shit. Even these old niggas that got podcasts and stuff like that. Oh, we're new this and that. Like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, you're there to entertain just like everybody else, but not a lot of knowledge is being dropped. Because if that was the case, they were, you'd be making music still or doing whatever. You're just doing your thing. And next thing, then you'll be doing something else. That's all I got to say. But either way, you got anything else on your mind?
Nope.
Good?
Thanks for joining us on episode 2, guys. Bless up 2026. Let's get it.
Peace.
Peace.